Elias Rickard says the Orthodox Church did canonize anti-Semites.
You see?
The Orthodox Church also canonized, what's funny? I recently came across a saint, a canonized saint, who also famously, this is very, very interesting, and this is actually in the Russian Orthodox Church. This man here, not everything is as it seems. Canonization as saints is not done to approve of every single thing that certain people have done. It is based on different aspects of them that show their devotion and so on. This guy here, Aleksandr Glagolev, was canonized as a saint in the Orthodox Church in Ukraine when it was still part of Russia, when the church was still part of Russia. In fact, let me find that. Saint Aleksandr Glagolev. And I'm going to tell you in a second what this guy did and why this is relevant. Why this is relevant. There's always nuance to this, bro. Look here. Ukrainian church to glorify 3 new saints on feast of baptism of Rus. Here is an icon that they made of him. Here. It says, priest, martyr, Alexander of Kiev. This is the guy. He is listed here as a saint and martyr. Saint Aleksandr Glagolev was born on February 14th, 1872. I'm gonna show you now what this guy did. So this guy is recognized as a saint. A saint. Saint. Look what this guy did. Glagolev and the Jews in Kiev. In 1905, Glagolev acted against the Jewish pogrom in Kiev. The Russian-American journal Ruski Globus describes it as follows. During the cruel autumn of 1905, in the buzz of pogroms and murder, people poured out on the streets again. A small procession meddles into the outraged human crowd, wearing complete priestly vestments, carrying crosses and church banners. It is headed by the Russian priests, Aleksandr Glagolev and Mikhail Edinsky. Across Kontraktova Square and Gostiny Ryad, the procession moves toward the Jewish shops. They admonish the crowd not to participate in this evil, unchristian act. Some people recognize their spiritual leaders and take off their hats out of respect. The crowd starts hesitating, wobbling, gets thinner, and gradually breaks up. And this happened more than once. So this guy, Aleksandr Glagolev, goes toward a crowd of anti-Jewish, violent people and tells him to stop it immediately and calms down a Jewish mob. But this is not where it stops. This is not where it stops. In 1909, Glagolev published an article, The Old Testament and Its Eternal Significance in Christianity, in which he expressed some sharp criticism of some anti-Semitic authors trying to discredit the Old Testament. It still doesn't stop here. Glagolev was a key expert witness for the defense during the 1913 trial of Menachem Mendel Beilis. This guy was very famously known as falsely accused of killing a Christian child and taking his blood for baking matzah on Passover. I know somebody said, whenever you open Wikipedia, somebody says, Wikipedia is not a reliable source. This is not just about Wikipedia. Wikipedia just details it. You can find the story anywhere. It's actually very well known. So a Jew was accused of a blood libel. At this trial, Aleksandr Glagolev, who is now a saint in the church, at the trial he gave expert advice against the idea that Jews used blood in their religious rituals. He stated during this trial that Mosaic law from the Old Testament strictly forbids shedding human blood and using it to prepare food. The Talmud and other Jewish rabbinical laws confirm this prohibition. Specifically, he affirmed that the law of Moses forbids spilling human blood and using any blood in general in food. His statement went against the ritual murder accusation, upon which the whole case was constructed. The evidence provided by the Russian Orthodox priest and established religious philosopher was instrumental in convincing the solely Russian Christian jury that Beilis was innocent. In addition to direct interventions against pogroms and his testimony at the Beilis trial, there were multiple recollections of Glagolev helping the poor and needy population of Kiev, both Jewish and Muslim. This guy is recognized as a saint in the church. So it is all very, very nuanced. It doesn't all just go into one direction. And I love this guy.